Atlanta's Black Friday buzz was in full swing, with shoppers hunting for deals and travelers rushing to catch flights. But the excitement was shattered in an instant, replaced by confusion and disbelief. Uniformed ICE officers swept through malls and the airport, turning what should have been a day of celebration into chaos and fear. Shoppers ran for cover, families were separated in the commotion, and fear spread faster than the news itself. This wasn't a random act. It was a meticulously coordinated federal operation planned for maximum impact. The national immigration debate landed in Atlanta's busiest spaces, targeting specific individuals but casting a shadow of uncertainty over everyone present. At Lenox Square, panic erupted as people scrambled for safety. At the airport, joyful reunions turned to frantic searches for missing loved ones. Phones lit up citywide, calls and texts flying as Atlantans tried to find out who was safe, who was next. The uncertainty was overwhelming. For many, the raids felt like an attack on Atlanta's diverse fabric, a stark reminder that daily life can be upended in mere moments, no matter how ordinary the day may seem. The operation marked a dramatic escalation, bringing the weight of federal policy directly into the heart of public life, where everyone could feel its impact. The timing and location sent a clear message of authority, but so did the city's response, one of shock, anger, and resolve. As the dust settled, Atlantans began to rally together, determined to support one another and stand up for their neighbors. The story of the Atlanta raids is not just about enforcement, it's about a community's resilience, unity, and unwavering spirit in the face of fear and uncertainty. To understand Atlanta's ordeal, you need to know ICE, U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Created after 9/11, ICE enforces immigration laws nationwide, not just at the border. Its Enforcement and Removal Operations branch conducts raids, arrests, and deportations. The Atlanta raids were part of Operation Safe Communities, targeting those with deportation orders, but often sweeping up others. Critics argue these public high-profile raids cause collateral damage, arresting people with no criminal history. Federal officials defend the actions as necessary, but for many, the raids felt like intimidation, not routine law enforcement. The choice of public spaces and holiday timing left Atlanta on edge, wondering where ICE might strike next. Hartsfield-Jackson Airport, usually a place of reunions, became a scene of panic. ICE agents moved through terminals, checking documents and detaining those without immediate proof of status. Families were separated in seconds. Travelers and workers alike were caught in the sweep. International flights were delayed, and the airport's rhythm ground to a halt. The emotional toll was immense. Children left crying, adults desperate for answers. The message was chilling. Nowhere, not even a major airport, was safe. Vulnerability replaced normalcy, and the city's gateway became a symbol of federal power. The scars left behind were not just logistical, but deeply personal. The raid raised urgent questions about the humanity and methods of immigration enforcement. Lenox Square's Black Friday rush, usually a time of excitement and anticipation, suddenly turned to chaos as ICE agents entered the bustling mall. Agents moved swiftly, targeting kitchens and stockrooms, arresting workers behind the scenes, while others fanned out to question shoppers in public areas, catching many off guard. Many witnesses felt racial profiling was at play, as those stopped and questioned were often Latino or Asian, heightening the sense of fear and injustice among the crowd. Panic spread quickly. Shoppers ran for exits, stores locked down their doors, and families were separated in the confusion, desperately searching for loved ones. The mall was locked down for over an hour, leaving behind a trail of abandoned shopping bags, terrified people huddled on the floor, and security gates slammed shut. For those arrested, the experience was deeply traumatic. A young worker was taken away in front of a shocked crowd, their fear and confusion plain to see. A mother was detained while shopping for her kids, her children left crying and bewildered as law enforcement led her away. These weren't hardened criminals. They were everyday community members, working and living in Atlanta, simply trying to provide for their families. The raid transformed what should have been a symbol of holiday cheer into a site of fear and disruption, shattering the festive spirit for everyone present. The message was clear and chilling. Immigration enforcement could strike anywhere, at any time, even in the most unexpected public places. The fallout rippled through the city, deepening mistrust and anxiety as people wondered if their community would ever feel safe again. Lenox Square's Black Friday would never be the same, its legacy forever marked by fear and uncertainty. In the aftermath of the raids, personal stories began to surface, revealing the true and often hidden impact on everyday lives. Maria, a mother with a pending asylum case, was handcuffed at the airport and separated from her children for 2 agonizing days, not knowing if she would see them again. Carlos, a longtime restaurant worker, hid in a freezer as his friends and co-workers were detained in the kitchen, the fear in the air almost suffocating. High schooler David described running from ICE agents at the mall, his heart pounding as his friend, despite being a US citizen, was paralyzed by fear and confusion. These stories show the trauma went far beyond those detained. It rippled out to families, friends, and entire neighborhoods, leaving a lasting mark on everyone touched by the events. Fear gripped the community. People avoided work, school, and even simple errands like going to the grocery store, afraid of what might happen if they stepped outside. An immigration lawyer summed it up. These raids were designed to terrorize, tearing apart families and destroying trust in the very systems meant to protect us. The sense of being hunted in your own city was overwhelming, making every street and every familiar place feel suddenly unsafe. The raids didn't just enforce laws, they shattered the feeling of safety for thousands, turning homes into places of anxiety and uncertainty. The trauma lingers, reshaping daily life and relationships as families struggle to find a sense of normalcy in the aftermath. For many, the question became, how do you rebuild trust after such fear? How do you heal when the wounds are still so fresh? The stories are a stark reminder of the human cost behind the headlines, each one representing a life forever changed. Atlanta's wounds would take a long time to heal, as the city searched for hope and resilience in the face of so much pain. Atlanta's leaders and citizens responded with outrage and resolve. Mayor Andre Dickens condemned the raids, vowing the city would not cooperate with ICE. Protests erupted, with thousands demanding justice and support for affected families. Faith leaders offered sanctuary, and local businesses declared themselves safe spaces. Social media campaigns spread messages of solidarity and resistance. The raids, meant to assert federal authority, instead galvanized Atlanta's diverse communities. Yet, not everyone agreed. Some supported the raids as law enforcement. The city's response exposed deep divisions, but also a powerful unity among those determined to protect their neighbors. Atlanta's identity as a welcoming city was put to the test, and many rose to the challenge. The ICE raids were legal under the Immigration and Nationality Act, which gives broad authority to detain and deport. Administrative arrests require less evidence than criminal ones, giving agents wide discretion. Those with final removal orders are top priorities, but collateral arrests are common, turning targeted raids into sweeping dragnets. Critics argue this practice disrupts communities and targets people with deep local ties. Atlanta's sanctuary policies limit local cooperation, but can't stop federal agents from operating. The Supremacy Clause means federal law trumps local resistance. The legal framework allows for aggressive enforcement, regardless of local sentiment. The result, a city caught between federal power and its own values. Atlanta now faces a crossroads. Lawsuits are challenging the raids, alleging racial profiling and unlawful detentions. City leaders are doubling down on support for immigrants, expanding legal aid and Know Your Rights campaigns. The political divide with the federal government is deepening, setting the stage for further conflict. Community groups are mobilizing to help families heal and push for reform. The raids have sparked new activism and unity among Atlanta's immigrant communities. Other cities are watching. Atlanta's experience may be a preview of what's to come nationwide. The future of immigration enforcement will be shaped by this ongoing struggle between federal authority and local values. The Black Friday raids left Atlanta changed. Families are missing loved ones, businesses have lost trusted workers, fear lingers in neighborhoods, and trust in law enforcement is badly shaken. Public safety suffers when people are too afraid to report crimes or seek help. Yet, the crisis sparked remarkable solidarity. Neighbors, lawyers, and faith groups rallied to support those affected. New alliances formed, reminding Atlanta that community is built on shared lives, not legal status. The raids exposed the human cost of a broken immigration system. For Atlanta, healing will be slow, but unity is its greatest strength. The events force a national reckoning. Is this the country we want to be? Atlanta's story is a warning and a call to action for communities everywhere.